Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. I'm glad you decided to join me. It is Friday. This is June 19th, 2026. Yeah. Something very interesting I want to talk to you about first is the June 19th holiday. Now, us being a private company, um, we don't observe that holiday. We stay open. So June 19th, I discovered this because I went to the post office to mail something and I was going to have them check the weight and I realized they were closed. June 19th is celebrated as June 19th National Independence Day, which commemorates the emancipation of enslaved African Americans in the United States. It became a federal holiday on June 17, 2021, making the day when Union soldiers announced freedom for slaves in Texas in 1865. Now, June 19th is recognized as Juneteenth National Independence Day as a significant holiday in the United States that commemorates the emancipation of enslaved African Americans. On June 19th, 1865, it marked the day when Union soldiers were led by Major General Gordon Granger, arrived in Galveston, Texas, to announce that the Civil War had ended and that all enslaved people were free. This announcement came 2.5 years after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863, which declared the freedom of slaves in Confederate states. Now, the federal holiday recognition, established as a holiday, Juneteenth was officially recognized as a federal holiday on June 17th in 2021, not too long ago, when President Joe Biden signed the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act into law. The day is celebrated with various events, including parades, family reunions, and cultural activities, often featuring foods with red color symbolizing the bloodshed for freedom. And so Juneteenth is celebrated annually on June 19th across the United States, serving as a reminder of the ongoing struggle for equality and justice for African Americans. It is often referred to as America's Second Independence Day, highlighting its importance in the narrative of American freedom and civil rights. Now, here's the interesting thing that I thought you would like to know. Both the UPS carrier and FedEx, as well as Amazon, were still operating as scheduled and delivering packages. However, since the United States Postal Service is part of the government in some way, shape, or form, sort of, because they don't get 100% funding from it, they closed. It's interesting. All right, guys. So if this is your very first time joining me, I want to take the opportunity to say thank you and I want to say welcome. If you've been here one time, 5 times, 100 times, or maybe even more, I like to say thank you, welcome. And I also want to say the words welcome back. It really means a lot to me that you are here with me today. If you're thirsty or hungry or what have you, feel free to go grab yourself something. I have an RO water here with delicious fresh lemon inside. All right, guys, if you haven't checked out believemeachieve.com, go do that after the show is over. I think you will be really happy with the content. There's short form content, there's long form content, and it is a great place to basically learn about all kinds of different content. So I think you guys are going to really appreciate that. All right, guys, let's just kick this show off. I can't wait to share everything I've got to share with you. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Inspirations for Your Life show. And it's so great to be with you. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student at Montclair State University, and so passionate to be a lifelong learner and grateful to now be a published author. We're wrapping up the call, no pun intended, of our topic, Answering the Call, Series 5, show number 25. And this is episode number 7. And that is all about showing up again and again. Series 5, show 27, episode 7. Again, today is Friday. Your superpower is showing up. Why imperfect action always wins long term. Yeah. That's a very important thing I think that a lot of people miss, what's happening and how different things change our lives because, these perceptions we have actually become our reality. And we don't realize it because a subtle shift can do nothing overnight, but then suddenly we wake up and it's like, wait a minute, How'd that even happen? Right? So it's slow at first, but then it happens overnight, but it's not happening overnight. It's happening over time. And we just notice it all at once. So today we're closing the week with something simple, but very, very powerful. It's not theory, guys. It's not motivation spikes. It's not perfect planning. What is it? Well, we're talking about showing up again, 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 and again, because you see, showing up is where everything starts to change. Yeah, everything starts to change. So, our core message today is this week has been about answering the call all week. And it's not the phone call, but answering the call is not a single moment in our lives. It's a pattern, it is repetition, it is discipline in motion. And today, I break down the final truth about that. You don't become consistent by being perfect. Nope. You become consistent by refusing to disappear. Hmm. Basically means you keep going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny, right? So let me give you some insights, 30 points today that are going to help you change your way. Showing up as a decision before it becomes a habit, as it starts as a choice, not identity, but it slowly becomes who you are. Number two, imperfect action creates more progress than delayed perfection. Waiting removes momentum, action just builds it. Okay. Number three, discipline is built in repetition, it's not intensity. What you repeat matters more than what you do once. That's why I always appreciate those of you that decide to come back to the show again and again. Number four, consistency is a form of self respect. Every time you show up, you reinforce your own inner value. Pretty cool. Number five, motivation is unreliable. Systems are not. You cannot depend on feelings to build results. No. Number six, small actions compound into identity shifts. What looks small today becomes structural tomorrow. Number seven, missing repeatedly is more damaging than failing once. Absence creates distance from your goals. But when you keep doing it over and over again, it sends a message to people that, you may not be as reliable as people once thought you were. And I think that's an important thing. We talk about accountability, right? Accountability is very, very important to understand. Number eight, presence creates opportunity, visibility. You cannot be noticed if you're not present. Pretty simple, right? Number nine, progress is often invisible. While it's happening, most growth is quiet before it becomes obvious. Number 10, action reduces overthinking. Movement replaces mental loops with clarity. I think sometimes the reason we don't do something is because we don't understand. And if we don't understand something, it's like we're lost, right? We don't know what to do. We don't know where to go. And I think that's a very big problem for, again, a lot of people. A lot of people. So we have to first get clear on what we want in our life before we can ever start to execute it. Number 11, waiting increases doubt. Delay amplifies hesitation and, of course, uncertainty. So that brings us to number 12. Showing up reduces fear over time. Not in one moment, but over time. Familiarity weakens emotional resistance. So when we get to know people, we get to know a situation, we're like, oh, I get that. I understand it. And now I'm less threatened by it, right? Number 13, discipline is emotional regulation in disguise. What are you talking about, John? You're controlling behavior through your own structure. I said before that to have success, you need to have structure and consistency. Without one, success is basically something you can't even conceive or grasp. Number 14, repetition will always build trust in yourself. You begin to believe your own follow through. What we tell ourselves, what we say in our minds. See, that's the stuff that creates our reality. Okay. That's the stuff that does it. And if we don't understand that, then we're going to keep missing the opportunity because you see, the opportunity may swing around once and never come again, may swing around a couple times, but if we're not ready, we're never going to get it. If the door opens and we're like, well, I'll wait, it's open now, but it'll probably open again. It may not open again. See, the wheel of opportunity keeps going around. The thing is, as the wheel keeps going around, the door that you had to open may not be there when it spins around again. It may be closed. Somebody else may have taken that opportunity. Interesting way to think of it, right? A wheel of opportunity, it's spinning. So we have to take deliberate action to go through that door. Even if we're scared, we have to go through that door because when we do, we become empowered to do so many other things. There's lots of opportunities out there. I've learned this. But if you're not in a state to receive them, you will miss them every time they come around. Every time. And that's a sad thing because you're waiting at that stop and you're like, well, I know it should be around again, but wait a minute, the door's locked. Yeah, the opportunity is not available anymore. So when it comes by the first time, enter, grasp the opportunity. Number 15, identity is formed through our behavior patterns. You are what you repeatedly do not want. You intend. Okay. It's what you do, not what you intend. So you are what you do, not what you intend to do. Right? We get what we are, not what we want. So that's why it's important to become in alignment with the things that we want. Number 16, micro wins, the small wins, the ones that we don't want to celebrate, create momentum chains, and small completions lead to large execution cycles when we truly celebrate them. Number 17, guys, energy follows movement. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Many people get it mixed up because they don't understand what's happening in their life. They don't understand. And I think that's a big problem for, again, a lot of people. Number 18, avoidance becomes heavier than effort. Not showing up costs more than showing up. When you miss an opportunity, I've already said it's priceless. The door may never open again, right? The door may not even be near you. So it may not be near you. And if it's near you, it may never open. Number 19, consistency, guys, removes decision fatigue. You stop debating and you start doing. There are a lot of thinkers and a lot of procrastinators out there. Nothing wrong with thinking, but you can't keep thinking forever. You have to eventually do, right? You have to do. You have to do. And if you do, things will change quite a bit. That's important to understand that. Number 20, guys, execution builds clarity faster than thinking. Action reveals what planning cannot. So you might say, well, John, what if I make the wrong choice? You're going to learn, right? And when you learn, you're going to say, oh my gosh, I can't believe what I just did. I think a lot of people just don't understand the mission, right? They understand the mission because of where they come from, right? Where they are. I think that's an important piece that's about life, guys. It's about truth. It's about who we become, right? And who we become changes life. Who we become changes life. I think that's an important thing. Okay. I think if we understand truth, I think if we understand our direction, we'll be able to get through the challenges, right? When I was younger and a challenge came my way or a door closed, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? It's over. Now I'm like, okay, the door closed. I've got to rethink this. I've got to make sure that if a door closes again, that I don't get stuck behind it. But it's not a time to have a pity party. It's not a time to cry. It's not a time to complain. It's a time to take action, to think. Number 21, progress favors those who stay visible. Out of sight often becomes out of progress, out of mind, out of action. Number 22, discipline turns chaos into structure. Repeat action creates order in uncertainty. And when we figure out how to order chaos, that's when magic happens. Number 23, guys, imperfect effort is still forward movement. Direction matters more than polish. You don't have to be perfect, guys. There's no need to be perfect. But you got to show up consistently. You got to have structure. Number 24, reliability becomes your personal brand. People trust those who show up consistently. So let me share a story. I was meeting somebody about 6, 7 months ago, and they wanted to get involved with one of my groups that I run. And we confirmed the time, the date, and this person was maybe about 45 minutes away from me. And so we had messaged each other back and forth, and we confirmed, and we text, and we confirmed back and forth. And about a day or two before, I think it was the day before, I confirmed, hey, we're meeting tomorrow. Oh yeah, 7 o'clock, right? Yeah, a.m. Oh, dude, I'm gonna be working at 7 a.m. I thought you meant 7 p.m. And I was very clear that it was 7 a.m. So I decided to reschedule with the person. For whatever terms, they never were able to schedule with me because they were always too busy. So there was a place I went to, and this person happened to be there. And I very nonchalantly approached the person, like, hey, the missing person. I thought you fell off the earth or the planet. He just looks at me. I said, what happened? We were supposed to meet. He was like, oh yeah, I know. And I just kind of turned around like it was no big deal. That's someone who's non-committal to what they say they're going to do. And once someone does that to me, I'll give them 2 tries. Third try, they're out. And there's no valid reason. You know what I say? Next. That's not because I'm trying to be discriminative. It's not because I'm trying to be better than them. It's because my time is valuable. And if people don't value you or value me, it's next. End of discussion. Number 25, momentum replaces resistance over time. What was hard becomes automatic, seemingly even easier than you thought it could be. But it takes time to have this realization. We never know when we're going to get a realization. We just don't know. I had one not too long ago, and I got to tell you something. I had a realization that I didn't think was even possible. I didn't think it was possible. And it changed my whole belief of life. You all know what happened to me when I wrote my book, right? Drained to Driven. This was another one of those epiphanies. But the thing is, I wasn't expecting this one either. Now, there was nothing wrong. There was nothing like I was burned out or anything like that, but it just came upon me. like a gift. And I was like, my mindset changed. I don't know how that happened, but all I know is I'm completely grateful for it. That's an important thing. Number 26, guys. Habits are built through repetition under imperfection. See, perfect conditions are not required. Most people say, oh, I can't do that because I'm not perfect. So they never even try. Maybe they try it once, like, oh, I can't do that. I think sometimes we overthink it. I think that's important to know, right? Interesting, right? I'll tell you that sometimes our mind's decision of where we want to go and our body's alignments don't match. It's because our energy is off. When our energy is in alignment, magic happens, right? I'm going to compare this to an analogy. Many of you don't know that my mom had a, dry cleaning plant many years ago. My mom's side of the family had that. Was just the third generation that had one. And there's three things you need. I never forgot this from the chemical people that did our chemicals for the shirts. You need chemicals, okay? You need hot water, and you need mechanical action. If you don't have mechanical action, hot water, and the right chemical formula, well, you don't have clean shirts. And that sat with me. And this is why we hired this company. I'm not going to mention their name, they're still in business, to come up with our formula for our shirts. No one else knew this formula. And this formula was one of our trade secrets to making our shirts white and making it come out amazingly. And we hired them to make sure that our formula always stayed in tolerances. Number 27, guys, showing up is a form of commitment to your future self. You're investing forward every time you show up. Now, when people do this, I don't care whether they're younger than me, older than me, that is no excuse to not show up. And when that person I told you did what they did and didn't show up, I first thought something was wrong. I said, oh my gosh, you okay? Is everybody okay? And they're like, oh, everything's fine. And when I went down there and I saw they're at this place, I was like, let's talk. And they really weren't interested in talking. I said, well, I'm here. Let's have the meeting. Oh, yeah, I don't want to meet now. They did this, with their mouth. They open, open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. People do a lot with their mouth, but not a lot of action. They talk, 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 but they don't do anything. There's a lot of people like that. Number 28, success is cumulative. Attendance is built by being there repeatedly, right? When you want to have a good attendance in school, you got to be there every single day. So let's take a look. So how many absences, let's just say, can you have in high school before you fail? So attendance matters. And so what the law requires, every school district in New Jersey must develop policies that clearly outline expectations. New Jersey's attendance law creates a graduated response system that escalates interventions based on the number of unexcused absences. For the first 4 unexcused absences, the school focuses on communication and early intervention. You can expect the school to contact you before the next school day to notify you of the absence and work with you to determine the cause. When the absence reaches 5 to 9 unexcused absences, response becomes more intensive. Schools will evaluate whether previous interventions were effective and develop a comprehensive action plan. This may include referrals to intervention teams, academic or behavioral assessments, consideration or even alternative education placements. Once your child reaches 10 or more unexcused absences, guess what happens? You ready? They're officially considered truant under New Jersey law. At this point, schools must consider whether to make a court referral while continuing to work with you and involved agencies to support your child's return to regular attendance. Now, the court referrals and legal consequences, the law provides two pathways for court involvement. Depending on the circumstances of the school, officials determine the unexcused absences violate education law. Parents may be referred to municipal court. Alternatively, if there's evidence of a juvenile family crisis, the student may be referred to Superior Court Family Division. Before any court referral, schools must provide a written report detailing all actions they've taken to address the attendance issue. This ensures that legal intervention only occurs after appropriate support measures have been attempted. If your child has a disability, all attendance policies must be applied in accordance with their individualized education program, their IEP. And this ensures that attendance requirements consider your child's specific needs and circumstances. What parents should know, they have to stay proactive about communication, document anything, address problems, know your rights, responsibilities, seek support when needed, and respond promptly to school contact. Wow. Showing up is important. It's not just in business, it's in school too. And I think the reason why they're so strict about this, it's the education, but it's also to teach the child that showing up is something people are going to expect from you your entire life. So get comfortable now and start showing up. Number 29, your breakthrough is usually hidden inside consistency, not a moment, but again, a pattern. Our last point, 30, show up again, again, again is the real superpower. Everything else is secondary to consistency. And that's the real message, ladies and gentlemen. Show up. In closing, so as we close today, this week, here is the real truth. You do not need to be perfect. Nope. You do not need to be ready. Nope. You just need to be present, because presence creates progress, and progress compounds into transformation. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Be sure to check out believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. We'll catch you real soon. Start showing up when you're young and keep through it your entire life.